We like to think that one of the main reasons you would use the comprehensive genome analysis service is so that you could not just annotate a genome, but have it inserted into the PATRIC environment. So let's see how it looks when you have that happen. Remember that when you do this analysis, and once your genome is integrated within the PATRIC system, there's a perfect transparency between private and public data from your perspective, and you can compare any data within PATRIC to your personal data. So how do you find your genome in PATRIC once it's been annotated? One of the easiest ways is you can go up here to My Jobs, or you can go down here and click on the Jobs Monitor. Both of those take you to the exact same page. So here's a recently completed job. So I would click on that, and I would click here on the view icon. Notice that it gives me two possible downstream functions. So I click on the view icon, and as I'm sure you're tired of hearing me talk about, this is the results page for the job that you submitted to PATRIC. And there are many videos where you can watch everything about this. But what I want to show you is right up here in this upper right corner is this blue eyeball, the mysterious blue eyeball with the words view under it. And if you click on that, it's going to reload the page and take you to the page for your particular genome in PATRIC. Now, this is all the information from the genome that I submitted. I pretended I didn't know the species, but I did know the genus. So that was the genus I assigned, and this is the number that I got from the Sequence Read Archive when I originally assembled this genome in PATRIC and also did the annotation. This genome has been assigned a unique genome ID. This is the name that you can see in PATRIC. This is the taxon ID, and notice that that 234 is at the beginning here of this genome ID. So the genome ID is reflecting the taxon of the organism, and this indicates that it's the 345th genome. I assume that's a PATRIC species, a Brucella species, not for a particular, not for all Brucella, because I know we have a lot more data. It also tells me that it's whole genome shotgun. This genome is not closed. Genome quality is good. It gives me coarse and fine consistency. I haven't shared this genome with anyone. If I wanted to share, right up here, this is something that often happens. People ask me, how can I share this genome? I could click here on this share icon, and if I know the username, let's see. If I know a particular username, I can allow them to either view the data or edit the data. If you want people to be able to do higher analysis, you allow them to edit it, and then you can add that. Might as well do it, add that user. If I decide later that I do no longer trust Ann Warren, I can delete him at his access by clicking on this little trash can here. So there we go. So that's the way to share. That's a common question. Actually, this is the first time I've talked about it. You can also add your genome to a group. We've talked a lot about groups with the protein family sorter and also making phylogenetic trees. So rather than adding these things one at a time, sometimes it's just easier to create a group and it's just one function. This tells me information about my genome, how many contigs, how big it is, what the GC content is, how many genes are called, and when it was inserted into the database. And then there's more information about the genomic features that are called on the genome, the protein features, and the specialty genes. If you've watched any of the videos on the annotation service, we talk about this a lot. Any genome that's annotated in PATRIC is blasted against specialty databases for virulence factors, which include Victor's, VFDB, and a special PATRIC database that we did some hand curation on. Antimicrobial resistance genes from CARD and NDARO. Human homologs, transporters, and drug targets. So all that information is comes with your genome, and just clicking on one of these as a hyperlink that would show you the links to that page, and maybe I'll do it as a additional page rather than overwrite this one. But that would open the page, and it would give me the information that showed not only the particular gene, what it blasted to, what it's called, if there's a paper linked to this initial gene, and the identity and the e-value. And if you click on the filters here, you can filter down more on the virulence factors and see that information. So you can already tell that this is a pretty valuable function. So there are these different tabs across the top here. I know that Brucella won't have any AMR phenotypes. Phylogeny would be the phylogeny of the group. It's not going to show your genome. You won't see that in there. The genome browser is a pretty useful feature if you want to dig down into the specifics. Ruh-roh.